Hello and welcome to Boomer and Beyond Wellness and another segment of Have It Your Way workouts. I'm Angela Fischetti. So today's one exercise is going to be the straight arm press back. The muscles involved will be upper back muscles, also the posterior or rear deltoid muscles, and the triceps, the back of the upper arm, but in particular the long head of the tricep muscle, because this helps to bring that glenohumeral joint, shoulder joint, into extension. Now, the activities of daily living that are benefited from working these muscles, and in particular posterior side, would be anything that, well, if I vacuum clean and I extending the arm out in front because the elbow is straight, that would be extension, right? Therefore, it's tricep involvement. And I'm doing a push movement. So therefore, we've got front deltoid and pectoralis muscle involved. So anything that you're pushing against something heavy, again, those elbows are extending. And admittedly, I'm somebody, sometimes if I'm angry and my hood of my car is up, I will slam that down. But yes, that's going to be the tricep muscle involved with that as well. Now, the accessories we'll be using today will be a sticky yoga mat, an exercise tube, and one set of dumbbells. Today, I'm using 8-pounders. This leads me into the medical disclaimers and precautionary measures. So if you have a latex allergy, do be aware that the mat and the tubing are typically made from latex. So you do want to shop around for non-latex or latex-free. And if you have any back spine issues in which you were told not to forward flex the spine, to bend forward, right, or to bend down, and if you have hyperkyphosis, which is a form of postural deviation, and typically that's the sort of hunched appearance, then I'm going to invite you please to preview the video first, but look for what you can do. And if upon finishing the video you're not too sure, then I would invite the medical healthcare practitioner who knows your body best to preview the video as well to help you make an informed decision. But I do want to continue with something here with you. Just thought of a couple of things. If you have carpal tunnel syndrome, please be careful, because a lot of times I find that people work with the tube and they wind up doing this kind of stuff. This is a wrist extension. Doesn't matter where the arm is. This is a wrist extension. You see that? So we want to make sure we have a nice straight wrist, no bend at the wrist for carpal tunnel. Also, if you have some hand issues like arthritic hands or Dupuytren's contracture, trigger finger, then please get yourselves a soft handle on these exercise tubes, because there are firm handles and they might hurt you. So just be aware of that, please. And let's see where I'm going. Okay, so now we're into our reminders. So just a reminder, please, to stay hydrated with water when you're working out on your own, to stop and rest whenever you need to, but it is not an invitation for you to quit, all right? So that means you take a few breaths and then you go back into it. And even if it's just one more repetition, this is how you'll get stronger. Also, to remind you that on the channel, we have pinned there a warm-up and cool-down video, one video, but you can use them interchangeably. And it is advised for those of us who are 55 years and above to warm up for a good solid 10 minutes prior to any workout. What we also have is within the community tab, we have some articles and studies and photos and images of the muscles being activated, etc. And also what is there is printable and downloadable. You can access a rating of perceived exertion chart, really great for those of you who might be on beta blockers, or you have a pacemaker, or maybe you don't know how to take your own exercise heart rate. It's suggested that you work out at an RPE between 3 and 6. So now, how do you proceed when you're working out on your own? Well, you're going to execute 8 to 15 repetitions in a set. A set is a group of reps, right? And when you're working out on your own, you can feel free, depending if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, you can go 1 to 3 sets is what I typically advise. However, you can do 4 or 5 if you're really seasoned. What's important though is that you not do the same strength training exercise on consecutive days. So now let us begin. What we'll be doing today is 1 set of 15 repetitions, but we're going to break it down 3 ways. The first 5 repetitions will be without any resistance. Then the second round of 5 will be done with the tube, and the last round of 5 will be done with the dumbbells. So now we prepare for an athletic ready stance, as we always do to begin the work. So place the hands on the high pelvic bone, the iliac crest, point fingers straight down, not in. Stand with the feet, your ankles, knees, and that pelvic bone, the inside, are now in alignment with each other. I'm just going to look down and check. Right, I was also checking to see if the toes are in the same line as each other. Now I'm going to turn around, and sometimes people stand in a little bit of a back bend or the butt sticking out a little bit like twerking. That's what's called an anterior pelvic tilt. So what we want to do is just take a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, also known as a pelvic tuck. You don't want to take it into a deep standing abdominal crunch. We don't want that. Just a little bit of a pelvic tuck. Now from here, we're ready to do the exercise. But for those of you with the back spine and postural deviations, I need you to stay upright like this. Whereas the rest of us, we're going to come into a bit of a forward flexion of the spine. And I'm going to exhale, reach back, inhale, lower. Exhale on the effort, inhale, release. And it's exhale on the effort. We're going to pause right here at the peak of the contraction, then slowly release. 1 more with the breath in and out through the nose, and then gently release. Roll it on up. If you need a couple of shoulder rolls, go for it. Now, I'm going to grab the tubing, and when you work with the tubing for this exercise, you're going to stand on it, and it goes underneath the arches of your shoes. Do make sure that you are wearing sneakers or aquatic shoes, folks. Okay, now the wider you stand, the more resistance. That's going to be too much resistance for me. I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Take my forward flexion, roll the shoulders back, puff up the chest. Straight back, release. Exhale, pause, release. Lengthen the arms, reaching back, extending back. Pause. Let's go for 1 more. Exhale on the effort, pause, and slow release. Be careful when you come out of this using a tube because they can snap away from you. The last 5, I'll turn to the side again. Maybe I'll go a little bit of an angle for you. Exhale, pause. 2 more. And slowly roll up. Carefully place your weights down. And that's what we have for you today, folks, here on Boomer and Beyond Wellness. And if you value the content, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel. It really does help us. And perhaps feel free to share it with someone, maybe leave a kind comment. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay current with the content. And if you're of the mind to do so, I invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're looking to work with me privately, I do virtual remote work, and I do this with Senior Fitness as a personal trainer and with Hatha Yoga. And opposite end of the spectrum, I do prenatal yoga. But if people are in a chair, I can do exercise chair strength training as well as chair yoga. And if you're in the Miami Beach area, I work on site as a licensed massage therapist, and I do specialize in geriatric massage, but I do deep tissue and Swedish as well. So having said all that, until next time, stay hydrated. You know I live a whole food plant-based lifestyle. So eat your greens, eat your beans, and be well. Thank you for your support.